Well, this is Steve Ridgel, and I've got a little ranch south of town out where I live in West Texas, and I had a close call the other day. I didn't even know it. Went out to the ranch right after the 4th of July weekend and got out there and was doing some shredding and going past our open pasture, and part of our pasture was burnt. When I first saw it, I didn't even think it was fire. I thought maybe somebody had started to spray a field, realized it wasn't theirs, and took back off, or maybe just weather somehow. But when I got to really closely inspecting it, the very bottoms of some of the bushes in the field were burnt. It wasn't maybe 3 acres out of a 30-acre pasture, so it wasn't a lot. But here's what scared me about it. It was what we would call a flash fire. Didn't even burn. Some of the plants that were singed weren't even burnt down. It apparently just ignited, blew quick, and stopped. We suspicion only one or two things happen out in West Texas to really cause that kind of thing generally in the middle of an open field. Can be a lightning strike sometimes, and little spark, and the wind catches just right and it burns quick. But if the wind stops, it usually burns down. Or there's a good chance somebody decided to have a little fireworks over the July 4th weekend, got in our pasture, shot a few fireworks, and one of them sparked, and the wind caught it just right and burnt quickly, fast, flash fire. But then the wind apparently stopped and it quit. And so it reminded us of some things, because I'm a Christian. I'm always wondering what lessons I need to learn from that. And so here are a couple of things that reminded me. I didn't even know that happened. I didn't know how close we came to that fire catching, sparking, running through our whole pasture, running through the woods around us, running through my neighbors. It could have been a horrible thing, because out in West Texas, we are really dry and it is really hot and conditions are ripe for a fire. And so I didn't even know how close it came. And it dawns on me going through life how many times I think God probably protects me from things. I don't even know how close I come to disaster. And God's watching out for me. And I need to be thankful every day. When I get up in the morning, I need to thank God for a good night's rest. But as I go through the day, I need to thank God for delivering me through that day. So that's one thing I thought is, I don't know how many close calls I miss, but I'm thankful to God that I do miss most of the close calls like that. Number two, you've always got to be on your guard. If it was fireworks, whoever was out there, you know what? I don't think they meant to be careless. I just think it almost got away from them. It reminds me I've got to be hyper vigilant about some things in my life. I want to always be thinking about the good things. I don't want to leave an opening for Satan to worm his way into my life. I want to be careful. I want to be protective. I want to be proactive in my spiritual life, so no spark gets fanned by a quick wind. It also reminded me Satan's always trying to blow a little wind on the spark. He is. I suspect that was a little spark and the wind came up just right. Now we're in West Texas. Of course it's windy. I'm thankful it went down, but it also reminds me that that's what Satan wants to do. Find just a little spark of evil that he can blow on and cause a problem. So I'm thankful that God protected me from that, and it makes me want to be even more hyper vigilant about Satan. Now, somebody's thinking, so you're really mad at the people that, you know what, if somebody did, I wish they'd have asked, and I'm not sure it was smart to do fireworks in an open field, and I may even be wrong. I just don't, we hadn't had any lightning, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't a lightning spark, and there's no fence welding going on in the middle of my pasture, so I don't think it was a spark from a welder. I don't even think anybody would be out there smoking in the middle of my pasture and flicked a cigarette. But you know what? It's a little bit like the evil in the world. My battle's not with the people who are struggling and doing things wrong sometimes. My battle's with the evil. It was the fire that was the problem. I need to remember those things. People make mistakes. People make bad choices. And so I'm just thankful God protected our place, protected our pasture, protected our land, protected my neighbors. And it reminds me that's the same God that watches out for us every day that we live. So thanks, God.